As you guys may already know, I've started to take my rifle training a little bit more seriously recently. That means more range time, more training classes as well to start building those fundamental skills that we should all know if we have a rifle. So now that I've started to actually put some rounds through this build, it's time to share it with you. My New Jersey Legal AR rifle build. Let's get to it. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you did not already know, my name is Jay Casa, and I am just a red-blooded American patriot like many of you watching, living behind enemy lines, some would say, here in the great state of New Jersey. And if you get value after watching this video, please hit the like button down below and also consider subscribing because we are building a community here. You see it in the comment section and you see it on my Instagram account. If you don't follow me on Instagram yet, definitely hit me up at JCasaUSA. Like I said, we're building a community here of like-minded individuals who are looking to protect, fight for, and defend our Second Amendment rights here in the great state of New Jersey, as well as other blue states like it. So if that interests you, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you can stay up to date on our weekly videos. And in this video, I'm gonna go over my New Jersey Legal AR build. I'm gonna first go over what makes an AR New Jersey legal in the first place, then go over the specs and the parts that I chose for this build, and also share why I went with those parts and what I would do differently if I could do it all over again, if anything. Hopefully this is all to help you on any future AR build that you may have. So first, let's go over what the requirements are to have a legal AR in the state of New Jersey. New Jersey does have an assault weapon ban on the books right now. There are many different stipulations in this New Jersey statute, and I am no legal scholar or expert, so I'm gonna keep it very simple in this video. Also, a little disclaimer before going forward, if you're unsure about what's legal, please seek out an attorney, an actual attorney, to help you because I am not one. Under New Jersey law, a firearm is classified as an assault firearm if it meets the following criteria. If it's a semi-automatic rifle able to accept detachable magazines and at least two of the following: a folding or telescoping stock, a pistol grip that protrudes conspicuously, whatever that means, beneath the action of the weapon, a bayonet mount, bayonet lug, a flash suppressor or a threaded barrel designed to accommodate a flash suppressor, and lastly, a grenade launcher. So this means that you're allowed to have a detachable magazine, albeit limited to 10 rounds, which is considered an evil feature, I guess. Then you're allowed to have one more of those evil features that I just mentioned. For most of us, you're gonna want a pistol grip. Have you seen those weird New York and California kind of AR builds with that fin thing in the back of the grip? No, thank you. Let's get down to brass tacks. In order to legally own an AR-15 style rifle in New Jersey with a pistol grip and a detachable magazine, which is what we're all gonna want, it must meet the following criteria. One, you need to pin and weld a muzzle brake or a compensator on the barrel that's less than 16 inches. If the barrel length is more than 16 inches, you don't have to weld it, but you still have to pin it. It needs to be a fixed stock, a pinned stock, and there's also a product called Stock Stop that is acceptable and legal as well in my research. It needs to have an overall length of 26 inches, and you cannot have a bayonet lug. More on that in a little bit. When I was deciding what I wanted to do with this build, I kind of wanted something a little bit different than what you always see. You always see a lot of 12-inch, 13-inch long M-LOK rails with an LPVO on the top, backup iron sights, all that stuff. That's great. And you also see a lot of retro builds like with a quad rail, right? I didn't want either of those. I kind of wanted something that you never seen before. So I decided to build something that I would kind of call like a retro modern build or a modern retro build. And that is this BCM rifle with a mid-length gas system, an M-LOK free-floating rail, and an A2 front sight post. Now, when I say I built this thing, I did not build shit. It is a BCM complete lower that I bought. I think it was a Blem lower actually from GNR Tactical a long time ago. And I bought the upper with the bolt carrier group directly from BCM. So I'll just start from the front and work my way back. So it does have, first, like I said, a mid-length gas system on a 14.5-inch lightweight barrel by BCM with a 1.5-inch BCM compensator that does need to be pinned and welded. I do have that front sight post that I mentioned, and I did have to grind off the bayonet lug, as you can see here, because we have a big problem in New Jersey, and that is bayonet murders. So I could see why they wanted to ban that really, really evil bayonet lug. I have a Scout, a Surefire Scout Light here, no tape switch because I've been cheap. Honestly, it's really just for looks for me to get used to it. I need to get a tape switch. That's next on the list. BCM MMR or MCMR 9-inch free-floating rail, and a BCM vertical foregrip that I flipped around like everyone else on YouTube does in order to get slightly more leverage to bring it into my shoulder, into my body, and control the firearm. I like it. BCM upper, as I mentioned before, with a BCM bolt carrier group. Let me actually talk a little bit about why I went with BCM before I continue. When I was first getting started into guns, I wanted to buy my first rifle. BCM stood out right away to me because it was, it seemed like the perfect mixture, right? The perfect match between quality that you could depend your life on, that's duty tested, and yet also not literally the most expensive thing that you have to go into debt to go buy it, right? Are there more expensive rifles out there? Absolutely. Are there cheaper rifles out there? Absolutely. But like, could you really say that a more expensive brand rifle is better than a BCM? I don't know. I mean, it has more, they may have more features, they may shoot differently, but better, more reliable, actually more reliable, I don't think that you could actually say that. So I am a huge proponent of BCM, Bravo Company. Both of my rifles are by them, and I would highly recommend it. That being said, do you need a BCM lower like I have? No, you actually do not at all. On my other build, I had an Aero lower that I put a BCM lower parts kit in. You can buy an Aero lower, you can buy any lower, really, honestly. If you want to save some money or you can't find a BCM lower, put any lower parts kit in, but once again, stuck with the BCM, and I couldn't be happier. It's not hard to install a lower parts kit. I did it. If I could do it, you could do it. And yeah, I'm just a huge fan of BCM. I like their products. I like the features that they have, and I like how they run their companies. But there are other brands out there as well that are excellent. So just do your research and pick which one you want that you could depend your life on, is what I would say. Back to the builds here. So the complete lower did come with, like I said, a lower parts kit, a BCM buffer tube and spring, and then I bought this BCM, I think it's called a B5 Mod 0 stock. The reason I bought it is because it is BCM and you can pin it. You could pin it very easily. I don't remember exactly how I did so, but if you want to find out, just YouTube it, it'll pop up, and it doesn't move at all. Also has that BCM grip, which I really like the angle of as well, and the trigger is a BCM trigger. You really can't go wrong with any of it. On the top of the gun here, I have an Aimpoint Pro optic. Now, this is an older style optic. I bought it used on, I think, M4carbines.net a long time ago for like 250 bucks. I don't even know if they still make it or not. The reason I got it is because you know it's duty tested. Pro, I think, stands for police, patrol, something or other. You could depend your life on it, which is the test that I always put anything to when I buy something. Now the negatives though, the reason why it's not like $1,000 like a T2 is because it's pretty bulky, including the mount. It's not the most lightweight style optic out there. And honestly, the field of vision is not really that great either, but it's a solid setup if you're looking for something pretty budget friendly, but that you can also beat the crap out of and still depend on 100%. And lastly, I have the Magpul Pro metal rear backup iron sight. I figured I need something with that front sight post, and I would definitely recommend the Magpul Pro over the regular, really crappy plastic ones. And oh yeah, the sling is a Blue Force Gear 2-point sling, and it's great. It's made in the USA. You can get it right on Amazon for a reasonable price. So what do I like about this rifle? Well, first, the mid-length gas system makes it an extremely smooth shooter and extremely reliable as well. In a 4-hour course that I took, I did not have one malfunction at all. And there's like no recoil on this thing whatsoever. I also like the front sight post, as mentioned previously, because one, I think it looks cool. Two, I like to have real backup iron sights in case this optic fails. And three, maybe it's just me, but it makes it easier for me to acquire that dot on the optic. I use it as a reference and it makes it easier to find. Maybe it's just me, your mileage may vary, but that's why I like it. I also like just a standard red dot like this over an LPVO, because LPVOs, I don't have that much experience with them, but the ones that I do, it seems like it's like hard to acquire your dot. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. If you look at it like not directly on, it can look like the whole thing is black. I just don't like that at all. I would rather just a regular red dot, something simple and effective, especially on a build like this that's kind of more for like a shit hits the fan scenario than a long range build, right? So unless you need long range with magnification, I would recommend just sticking with a red dot. Now, what would I do differently if I can go back? Well, first, As much as I really like this optic because I know it's tough as shit, if I could go back in time, I probably would not get it. And the reason is I'd probably get it like a Trijicon MRO over this for the bigger fields of vision and as well as being more lightweight, or just spend the extra money and get an Aimpoint T2. This thing is heavy, bulky, and especially the mount, right? So you look at this mount here, and it's not lightweight, and it takes up a lot of space, especially this big knob. I mean, I have a big, huge knob here sitting on the side of my rifle that can get quite annoying every once in a while, although it does make it easy to get on and off if you need to. Another option would be to actually get a new mount, and I've actually thought about that. I probably will eventually, something more lightweight that doesn't take up so much real estate on the top rail here. It also, I know they do make even just new spacers for this mount that lifts this optic up a little bit so you get less of a co-witness, because as I mentioned, I like the co-witness with the front sight post, but it's a full co-witness. Maybe just a lower third would be better, especially since the field of view on this optic is not the biggest or the best. But that's about it. That is my New Jersey Legal BCM rifle setup that I've been training with for a while. I look forward to continue training with this thing and putting it through the ringer as much as I possibly can. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What do you like about this rifle build? What would you have done differently? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also, like I said, give me a follow on Instagram at JCostaUSA. We're building that up as well. Talking to a lot of you guys through Instagram, which is awesome, awesome, awesome. X.com as well, at JCostaUSA. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will see you next time.